So, I'm just getting back from seeing Star Wars The Force Awakens for a second time. Probably gonna go again at some point. So I thought it made sense to do a spoiler review. My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and if you want to see what my initial thoughts, me gushing over the action, the special effects, everything that's not spoiler-ish, check out my original review. But this is everything in between, the nitty-gritty stuff that I was too afraid to talk about in my other review because I didn't want to spoil anything or come close to spoiling anything. Obviously, I love the movie, that goes without saying, but let's talk about some of these characters. Specifically, John Boyega as Finn, who we see, there was a lot of speculation on whether or not he was an actual stormtrooper or whether he was pretending to be one. He was definitely a stormtrooper. And for people who was like, oh, this is bullshit, there can't be a black stormtrooper, not just because they were racist. I'm sure that was some of the reason why people said that. But also, they're supposed to be clones, right? I remember them saying something in the prequels about them being clones. I don't really care or remember, but they do explain in this movie that this was a new program, a new army where they weren't cloning people. They were taking people from villages or from their homes, their planets, from birth practically, and training them, programming them to be soldiers. And Finn, just his first battle, he couldn't do it. He sees somebody that he knows dies, I think. And then when it comes down to how evil Kylo Ren wants them to kill everybody in this village, he can't do it. I love that we took a stormtrooper and made a character out of him. I mean, all the original movies, people make fun of the fact how the stormtroopers are just there. They're really nothing. They can't shoot worth a shit. It actually makes sense that, well, since those clones weren't working all that well, let's try a new way of training stormtroopers. Let's use real people. Obviously, though, you have the possibility of, I don't know, one of them having a conscience. Rey. And Rey, there's some controversy, actually, with her character. And I can't believe it. I don't want to just make this video about, debating some complaints I see about this new Star Wars movie just because I love it so much. But some people think that she's too perfect of a character or she's too good with the Force in her first outing. I don't know. I just like the fact that when you meet her, she's a scavenger. She's kind of just somebody, you see her living on her planet, Jakku. And I like that. I like seeing a little bit of how somebody like that lives, going around collecting parts and how she trades it in, and then her with the food and stuff. I very much liked all of that. And then she obviously meets BB-8. And BB-8 is... I love BB-8. I love him more than R2-D2, which I didn't think that was going to be possible, but I love this little thing. How he moves, how I love seeing whenever they're running away from action and BB-8's right behind them. Obviously, everybody, I guess, can understand droids. I don't know. I still don't know how that works. And I should talk a little bit about Oscar Isaac as Poe, who is the best pilot in this group. And I really liked Oscar Isaac. I mean, sure, you could say that we didn't get enough with him, but from what I read, originally he was supposed to die or stay dead. Also, some people complaining about how this is pretty much a remake of A New Hope. I don't agree with that. I see the parallels. I do see certain moments that are like A New Hope, like when Poe gives the mess or the piece of the map to BB-8 and tells him to go off. Obviously, like Leia and R2-D2, but why not have special homages or special moments that might remind you of what you love about the original movies? Why is that a bad thing? Really? And then when Finn tries to break Poe out, I love how they instantly become friends, or they instantly become grateful for each other. Instantly, like even when Finn sees him later on that he's still alive. I buy these guys as friends. A hell of a lot more than I bought Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker in the prequels. And that was 3 movies of building up. The big moment of this movie that got me, that hurt, it brought tears to my eyes the very first time I watched it, and I was sad seeing it a second time, Han Solo's death. That was huge. It was something that I was shocked. In retrospect, second time around, sure, it's clearly building that up, the moment with him and his son. But, and then finding out after the fact that Harrison Ford, he wanted to get killed off. He's been wanting to get killed off since Return of the Jedi. So, in a way that sucks, but also it's like, well, at least he came back. And it fools me that he was so quick to want to get out of this franchise, because when you see him on screen, he seems like he's having fun. He seems happy. I don't remember the last time I've seen Harrison Ford smile in a movie or just look happy. And I loved him as Han Solo, even older Han Solo, who still has that quick wit about him when he's trying to talk himself out of that situation with the two groups who he owes money to. But he's also older. He's wiser. Him telling Finn and Rey that everything about the dark side, the light, the Force, Jedis, it's all real. I love that. When he does die, Chewbacca's reaction of just being pissed the fuck off. He shoots Kylo Ren. He's shooting stormtroopers. He blows up those bombs. Chewbacca, you really feel bad for. You know, I feel like he really lost a close and personal friend. Very interesting that at the end of the movie you see Chewbacca with Rey, so I guess they're going to be the new team in the Millennium Falcon now. Kylo Ren, some people, I guess, thought that Luke Skywalker was going to be Kylo Ren, that he went to the dark side. And sure, when I was talking about this with people, I said, well, I guess that makes sense. It could happen. I just didn't want that to happen. It was the last thing I wanted to happen. I didn't want our main character from the original 3 movies to have eventually gone evil. I wasn't looking forward to that. I was glad that they didn't waste a lot of time until they revealed that Kylo Ren is Ben Solo, Han Solo and Leia's son. Kylo Ren is basically what I wanted to see with Anakin Skywalker in the prequels. You know, I wanted to see somebody get lured and corrupted towards the dark side, but in a way where you actually gave a shit. and that's what I feel like I got here, just seeing how much it impacted his parents and how it sort of broke them apart and how much it destroyed Luke. The fact that Luke left and vanished because he was ashamed that he failed his sister, and all of this has gone on. So it was heartbreaking to see all that. I love how they played up Kylo Ren, though, how he was this badass. You know, seeing him use the Force was so fucking awesome. Just him, like when he stops that ray of light from Poe's gun, or when he grabs his man from across the room and then by the throat. You know, but you see that he is young. He is sort of insecure, or he throws temper tantrums. You know, when he's pissed, he takes his lightsaber and just crushes up the computers and goes crazy. I did like his voice. The moment where he takes his helmet off, initially I might have been just a little disappointed, because you're expecting this big, like, oh no, like, what's he look like? Or is he going to be disfigured, scarred in any way? And he looked like a regular kid. But it really worked to help you realize just who this person is. Like I said, it's like Anakin Skywalker, where it's somebody who was good at one point, who is still a person, and it gave you that glimmer of hope that he could be saved. Also, it worked for that scene of, you see Rey, who we find out also has the Force, and how strong she is, and how she's able to even counteract Kylo Ren using the Force. And then, obviously, Ren worshipping Darth Vader's helmet was very cool. The end lightsaber battle, the fight, was amazing, fucking awesome. Obviously, when you get Finn using the lightsaber at first, the fight with him and Ren isn't that polished. It's not like when Luke was doing flips, jumping all over the place. No, these guys are going dirty. They're fighting hard. And then when Rey gets the lightsaber, great moment to where like Kylo Ren is trying to get the lightsaber with the Force, but it goes past him, and Rey gets it, and they go at it, and she overpowers him. She beats him. Some people say, why is she able to beat him? Well, first of all, Kylo Ren was hurt. He was injured. 2, she's a lot stronger, Force-wise. She just hasn't even been trained. She doesn't know exactly how to use it, but she's clearly capable. I don't see why that's so unbelievable, why that's such a bad thing. Clearly, they're saving Kylo Ren. Clearly, he still has much training to do to where he will be eventually that badass. He will maybe possibly one day get to that Vader status. He's just not there yet. We're still watching the development of him as a villain, as a character. Why not? Some people complain that we didn't get enough answers to some stuff. I'm thinking they gave us too many answers. And I'm not complaining, but it's like, if you think about it, in the original Star Wars, we didn't find out any character relationships or anything like Luke and Darth. We didn't find that out to the second movie. We didn't find out Luke was related to Leia until the third movie. This movie gave us a lot of Kylo Ren's backstory. Enough clues to what's going on, like with Rey. People are speculating on whether or not she's Luke's daughter, which is what I think, or that that Han and Leia had twins, and that she's their daughter. Which, I mean, either way could be a possibility. I want her to be Luke's daughter. I just think I would like that better. The moment at the very end where Rey finds Luke at the Jedi Temple, and I know Luke was hardly in the movie. He only had this one scene, and he doesn't say anything. Hell, I'm even wondering where that line from the trailer where he's saying about the Force is strong in my family, like, did they take that right from Return, or was that new dialogue? But just him looking at Rey, and she's wanting to give him the lightsaber, and you see his eyes sort of start to well up, and it's like, is he looking at his daughter, or is he just looking at his niece? And he knows what this means. He knows that now that she's found him, she was drawn to him, that he does have to train her, and maybe, who knows what that's going to bring. Either way, I love it. I love this movie. I loved it even more watching it the second time around. There's not much more I can say. I cannot wait for episode 8. This movie clearly still deserves my better than sex rating. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think now? Spoiler talking here. What did you think of Star Wars? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!